going to go over today, okay? But some people are missing, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Still? Okay, let's give them a moment.
By the way, Jose, can you share the recording of yesterday, please?
Oh, yes.
The what?
The recording, the yesterday's recording.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, let me share it.
Another thing. All right. Hello, Juanita.
Hello guys. How are you guys doing? Good?
Good.
Fine.
I'm off 1 second.
Okay, here we go. Someone else is missing, right?
Yeah, who's missing?
I
Sean?
think Brenda.
Hello, Sean.
Brenda.
Is
Only Brenda,
Erica
right?
is missing too?
Mika.
Erica is Brenda. Yes.
Erika is Brenda. Okay.
No, Erika is Daniela.
Erica is
Erika
Daniela.
Daniela.
Oh,
Unless she has 3 names.
Erika, Brenda, Daniela.
Erika,
There you go.
Erika, Daniela, Brenda.
Erika, Daniela, Brenda.
Daniela, Brenda, Erika.
Oh, but both Brenda and Daniela are missing, right?
Yes, Brenda and Daniela. Someone is asking for.
Uh-huh. Do I have the host now? But because I can't see her. Asking to come in. Why can't I see her?
Brand.
This is weird. Ah, here she is. Okay, she just appeared. No? I can't see her waiting anywhere. Okay. Arnold is waiting, and okay, Eric here. They have appeared now. Okay, and so then we are only missing Brenda. No. Vanilla. Brenda. I can't see Brenda anywhere.
Maybe she's having trouble with her internet.
I guess so. Yeah. I'm going to ask her.
appear.
Huh?
She should appear if she's trying to enter. You should be able to see her name there.
Yeah, I know, but no.
Hello, guys. Good afternoon.
Hi. How are you?
Hello.
Is that Arnold Vegan?
The one and only.
There you go.
That's nice.
Well, no, I cannot see Brenda waiting anywhere.
And Daniela also says that she's trying to.
I'm here now.
Daniela is here.
I'm here now. Hi, I'm a ghost.
So you go by which name do you go? Which one do you prefer, Erika or Daniela, or both? Doesn't matter.
Like, well, I have like 2 stages in my life. All my friends from junior high school and elementary school, they call me Erika, as well in my family. But when I got to high school, I was like, no, I want to change, you know? And so I started like introducing myself as Daniela. So that's the good thing of having 2 names.
Exactly.
Arnold knows me as Daniela because I introduced myself with him as Daniela.
Okay.
Yeah.
Daniela.
So I just call her Danny.
Danny. Okay. I'll call you Danny too. Okay.
Danny girl. Danny girl.
Danny girl.
Okay, so Brenda is here too.
Yes.
Great. So, Adele, you are in 2 places. Okay. Brenda, hello. Welcome, everyone. Okay, so we don't waste more time. We can get started today. We have the presentation from Kenya and Sean. Am I correct?
Yes.
No.
And you are going to
You're
discuss
correct.
having students engaged and focused, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. So the mic is all yours as soon as I stop sharing. Okay, perfect. So we're all yours.
Excellent. So I'm just gonna start sharing, and
Okay, well, good morning. This is teacher Shan and me, Kenya. And
Hello.
our topic for today is having students engaged and focused. And we have an activity for you, which is a competition, okay? You are going to be separated into 2 teams, people. For each team, you have to choose a leader. When we will give you 1 picture per team, you will describe it as many objects as you can see from that picture. You have to dictate them to your leader, and he has to write whatever you tell them to write in the notebook or in the chat book, wherever you can, okay? And I will set up 3 minutes to do this activity, only 3. So I'm going to divide you first, and then I'm going to give you your picture, to show you your picture. Remember to take a screenshot or a photograph of this photo, because when I go out of this breakout room, you won't be able to see it, okay? So let's see, Patricia, what are we going to do?
We are going to take a look at pictures and then we're going to report what we see to our leader.
And what has the leader to do?
Write them down.
Perfect, okay? So please, teacher Sean, I'm going to divide you, okay? Can I make breakout rooms when I am not the host? I think I can't.
I don't think.
Okay.
So teacher Sean, please.
Yes, it's okay. So we are going to be dividing ourselves in teams. So let's see. I don't know how many people we have here, but I don't know if the coordinators are going to participate in this. I wasn't here yesterday. I'm sorry. But okay, so we have from Coach Arnold. Are you there, Coach Arnold?
Yeah, I'm here.
Excellent. So you are going to be one of the team's leaders, okay? Team A. So it's going to be Arnold and Adriel, Alondra, Daniel, and Erica. Okay? Yes, guys? Everyone has a team?
Got
Team
it.
A. Excellent. So now we have the other team, which is going to be Coach Susana, Stephanie, Patricia Henkel, Hugo Spencer, and someone's missing?
Me. Me. I don't have a group.
Juanita and Brenda, excellent. You're also in the B team. Okay? So everyone has a team now, right?
Yes.
Except for me.
Excellent.
Isaac doesn't.
And also Isaac. Coach Isaac, you are in team A.
With Arnold?
Yes, with
Okay.
Coach Arnold.
I don't have a team.
And Hetty, team V.
B, okay.
Yes, V. With who's gonna be the leader of team V? Maybe let's see. Maybe Coach Spencer, are you there?
Sorry?
Are you there, Coach Spencer?
Yes.
Excellent. So you are going to be the leader of Team V, okay?
All right. And
If you
who's
don't know
team
what
B?
you're going to do, you can ask the rest of your teammates, okay?
I don't even know who my teammates are.
Excellent. So who is in Team V? Can you please tell your names?
Juanita.
Brenda.
Patty,
So Juanita, Brenda, excellent.
Patricia.
Well, who else?
Sana.
Stephanie.
Patty.
Excellent. So you are Spencer, Coach Spencer, you are going to be working with Team V and you are going to be the leader. Are you okay? Yes, everything clear?
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. So Coach Kenya, go ahead.
Okay,
First
please
leader.
share. Please make the teams in the breakout rooms, please, teacher. And I will give them their picture.
Sean is the host now, okay?
Mhm. Can I be the host?
Oh, okay, let me.
What?
Sean, you can make her the host, please.
Yes.
Could you please make the team's teacher, Sean? You
I'm gonna
share.
have to stop sharing just for a moment. And yes. Ready.
Okay, good. So breakout rooms. I will divide you. Oh, come on. What is, okay, into 2 teams. So here you go, please.
Excellent. So first, you are going to have 10 seconds to look at your picture. Okay, just 10 seconds. Okay, so team A, are you ready?
A question, are we gonna take a picture? There, we don't need to take a picture of the picture then.
No.
Yeah, I mentioned
No.
teacher
That's
Sean.
cheating. That's cheating. Okay,
You said so, right? That we
Yes.
could take pictures.
Yes,
so,
you can take pictures.
okay,
in your
so,
team.
ready? This is team A picture. Okay, team A picture.
And then the other picture, I think they have already taken the picture.
So, team B picture.
Good. Very quickly. There you go. The teams, you have each leader
Okay,
in your team.
So we accept the invitation.
Yes,
And
please.
that's it?
Uh-huh. Come on. Real quickly. It was over. Time is over.
Okay.
We win. No, I'm kidding.
Of course we did.
For sure. Good. I'm waiting for everybody to come out. Have everybody come out.
A rug. Patricia Henkel says a rug.
Kenya,
Yes.
aren't there people waiting to enter? Could you check, please?
Where? I just don't see
On
them.
participants, you can open participants and you can see
Oh,
them.
yes. Mhm. Sorry,
Uh-huh.
sorry. They are. Okay. Teacher Sean, I'm making you the host.
Hey, I'm here again.
Okay. Come on.
I'm
Hold on.
sorry. It kicked me out.
There you are.
Yes.
Oh, sh-
Okay, so everyone ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. So let's go with our first image. What did the A team find in our image?
What? Can you repeat the question, please? I'm sorry.
What did your team find in your image?
Okay, I was the team
B.
for team number 2, team B.
Uh-huh.
We found a pillow, bed, basketball, racket, a wall, sock, cat, a poster, a nightstand, plants, cactus, basketball, again, backpack, jacket, boots, light, scarf, shelf, mattress, curtains, quilt, pillowcase, a cereal box, carpet, window, ruler, laundry basket, penguin, crayon, a cup and a straw, paper, a bag, a glass of water, floor, mountains on the picture, because there's a picture, Jupiter on the picture, moon on the picture, and a boy who's wearing a shirt and jeans.
Excellent. I mean, you find the whole thing. That's cool.
Oh my
That's cool.
God.
What about A team?
Well, I kicked myself out of the session, so I don't really know. I mean, I remember some of the things, but I remember a backpack, a fire pit, a couple of rows, 2 kayaks, a minivan, 2 lamps, a tree, some leaves, a dog, a cooler. I don't know what else. What else am I missing?
Your team chose another leader.
Okay.
Who's the A team's leader?
Okay, they can go ahead and
I think I think it was me, but I think it was from I was from team number 2.
Yes, we
team B,
describe the
team
same picture as the other team.
You guys had the same picture, not this one.
Yes.
I think
that was for that was for team A, right?
Good
Yes,
job,
that
Arnold.
was
You were team A.
We thought we were team B.
Because Hugo
We were
was,
room
well,
2.
Spencer was there and we were waiting for Arnold and they said it didn't matter.
It was confusing because we thought that we were team B because we were in room 2. Our invitation was for room 2, so we thought that we were in team B.
I was in team B, so I described that picture that you told me for team B.
That's cool. I mean, yes, it was a little bit of confusion there. Actually, the session kicked me out, but no worries. Okay. So let's continue. Okay, so Coach Spencer, you were one of the leaders. What did your team find?
I tried to wrote what they were saying. I don't have a lot of words here, though.
It's okay. Go ahead.
I have well, it's for these pictures. We have pillows. We have a cactus. They were saying a lot of things, but I don't remember.
You were supposed to write that.
That's cool. I mean, that's cool. Did you guys find anything else? That's it, Coach Spencer?
Well, I as I said, I remember they were saying a lot of things, but I don't remember like all of them.
That's cool. Excellent. So did you find something else, Coach Spencer?
What do you mean?
in the picture.
Did I find something else besides a pillow and the what was
Yes,
it? The cactus? Yes, there was a scarf,
a
um,
scarf.
some books,
Excellent. Excellent. Some books,
basketball ball.
basketball.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's great. So, Coach Kenya, go ahead. Let's wrap this up.
Okay, well, this activity was intended for you to have an interaction with your team. And we have someone who didn't pay attention very much, who's not really doing things right, right, teacher Spencer? So when
Yeah.
we have this kind of students in the beginning of our classes, when they are not engaged and paying attention to other things, we can grab their attention in a certain way. And well, teacher Sean is going to be more extended in this part.
Yes. So yes, actually, we did ask Coach Spencer to be on his cell phone and trying to be rude and stuff. He's not like that. He's not trying to be disrespectful or anything. We did ask him to do this because we were trying to set an example of what to do with this kind of disruptive students. So one of the things that we found that it's like so effective is when we are trying to engage with our student that it's not trying to engage with us, we can give some sort of responsibility to him or I mean to that student so that they are not, I wouldn't say forced, but they would feel like they're responsible of engaging with their teammates. So we have our next page right here, which is what would you do if number one, your students are not paying attention. Number two, your students are bored during their lesson. Number three, the students are over engaged. We're going to explain that in a moment. And the students are not engaged. Okay, so we would like to ask you guys as coaches, what do you do in those cases? What do you do if this kind of situations are presented in your classes? So we would like to ask you guys, what would you do if your students are not paying attention? What's the most effective thing that you find, it's good for your students? What methods do you use?
Can I start?
Yes.
Well, usually when I notice that my students are not paying attention, one of the things, well, some of them have their camera off, and I call them to participate. Or I'm usually watching the cameras and I know that they're not focused on the camera or they're not here or they're doing something else. I ask them if they're okay, if there's anything that I can help with, and they tell me, no, yes, teacher, I'm okay. And then I go ahead and I ask them, are you with us here in class? Are you here? Are you here? Are you with teacher lady? Hey, that's what I do. It works for me. Personally, it does work for me. Oh, yes, teacher, I'm here. I'm sorry. My mom called me or there's a lot of noise or and then they go ahead and they're sincere with me and they tell me. So what I try to do is I try to tell them to find a place where they can be focused to try to get, a place where there's not a lot of sound, not a lot of traffic from the family and things like that. And that has worked for me.
Thank you, teacher Lee.
Excellent.
Can
Is
I say something?
anybody else that would like
Yes.
to share your experience where students
Yes.
are not paying attention? Maybe Alondra?
Oh.
I usually stop the class and I start with a song like today is Monday, or maybe like with this class, 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 and that helped me a lot.
Excellent. Maybe our disruptive student has something to say. Coach Hugo.
Yes. Just for the record, guys, I'm not like that. I used to act like that because I was already receiving texts from Luis saying that I was fired and everything. Now, I'm not like that. Well, just kidding. But something that I do that I learned from Joao, I don't know if you know him, Joao, the teacher from Portuguese. Something that he does is if like, for example, if I ask to Sean to say or to participate and he doesn't answer, he says something like, Stephanie, call Sean. He's not in the class. Can you call him? Can you text him? And then like all the class get focused in like in this action, because it is like, what's going on? Why should I call him? And then they start paying attention. And another thing that I do, it's act like if we were doctors. 2 miligramos de epinefrina, por favor, para reanimar a Sean. And it works a lot. It works a lot to drag the attention again to the class.
That sounds great, actually. So yes. And number 2, students are bored during their lesson. What do you guys think that it's the problem with that? What's causing their boredomness?
I think it's when you take too long in a certain activity. That's what gets them bored.
When you take too long in a certain activity.
Yes,
Coach
that's
Brenda.
what I've noticed.
So the activity is not interesting to them.
Brenda?
I feel that it can also be like maybe there's too much information and maybe you want to put a lot of activities in one. I think it would be a good idea to divide it by sections and progress one activity into maybe 2 or 3. Also, I think it could be because someone didn't pay attention and now I have to repeat myself and catch this person up. And the person who understood now isn't interested because he already understood. But then Panchito is over here playing with his cell phone and now I'm explaining again. And then someone understood at the beginning, but then when I explained it again, now they didn't understand. So I think that they might get bored because they don't have complete attention to the class, or because other factors interfere that make them not want to pay attention.
That's good. Yeah, actually. So now we have students over engaged, and with this, we are trying to say where we are trying to for students to engage, but there comes a point where our students are over engaging, meaning they're taking more time that they need to answer something, or even they're sometimes trying to tell us like, I didn't like this activity, maybe we should do that, and we should do this or that other thing, and this and this and that. Those comments that we have from students that maybe they didn't like the class or are used to another way of them being taught. So what do you do when your student is over engaging? Maybe Coach Stephanie.
Well, when the students, for example, are over engaging, I try to make participate all like in the same time. So like try to cut off the time of these people that usually are like talking and talking and talking, and give the same opportunity for everyone.
Excellent. Coach Daniel Hernandez.
Yeah, sometimes you need to stop for a moment and say, okay, thank you, Juanito, for your participation. Now let's hear Alan. Thank you so much, Alan. But Arturo, you are not participating. Can you give me your opinion about this? Okay, thank you so much. Or maybe they don't want to answer. Okay, don't worry, but remember, it's important to participate. So trying to catch their attention, try to invite them to participate, but not being too pushy.
Right. Yes, actually. What we're trying to do here is that we're trying to engage the students, but when they're over engaging, we really need to control this. But in a way that we don't kill that intention that the student has to engage and participate in our class. So we have to manage and know how to do it. In a way that we don't that the student doesn't feel like we are shutting them down. Okay, so now the students are not engaging. What do we do in those cases? And I would really, really like to hear Coach Isaac Reyes.
Thank you very much. So coaches should always have a plan B. Sometimes we think the activity is going to be awesome and they're going to love it because a previous group loved it. However, when we apply it, when we try with this new group, they seem to be bored. So what we have to do as coaches, we should always have a plan B ready. If they are not engaged, number one, it could be over challenging. I have had the chance to observe some coaches, especially the listening activity is very difficult because we work with manuals, and sometimes those activities do not suit the coach's needs. So the coach brings a listening activity, but it's over challenging. So it could be over challenging. The instructions, as you saw at the beginning of your activity, are essential. It's an art to give out good instructions. So it could be that your instructions were not clear. What you understand is not what people understand. So we have to go back, repeat the instructions, have them do the activity, 5 minutes, 7 minutes. If they're not engaged, then we come out with the plan B.
Excellent. Coach Kenya, go ahead.
Okay, well, having these experiences that we really wanted you to show to us, to share with us, given the situations that you might encounter in your classes, um, having the situations where students might have a disruptive behavior, regardless the like the maker of these situations, there are some things that we as teachers can do in order to have them engaged. And I believe that this is part of disruptive behavior because we don't know what it makes them, right? So I'm going to introduce to you some tips that might help us to have our students engaged. And one way to do it is that I would like you to please tell me, how do you use these tips in your classes? So the first one, please, Teacher Erica, would you like to read it and tell us, how do you apply this to your classes?
Okay, tips to have students engaged. Start a lesson with an interesting fact. Both of them or just the first one?
Just the first one, please.
Okay.
Teacher Sean is just showing the next one.
Well, I think that in this case, you have to, well, and this is related to the topic that Daniel and I are going to talk about tomorrow, which is critical thinking. I think that we need to share something with the students that activate their motivation and their thinking. Like they need to start thinking and questioning about not only like the simple questions like why, when, how, and things like that, but beyond that. It's about making this like personal interpretation and how they are going to, for example, use it in their daily lives. Maybe I had a student, for example, who is very interested in everything that is related with planes and airports and things like that. So when I have to ask him a question, I usually ask him about that. And that is cool because they also notice that you pay attention to what they share with you. And well, I think that that's it.
Thank you, Teacher Daniela. Start a lesson with an interesting fact might be something that will drag their attention from the beginning, expecting them to have something more. And please, teacher, I haven't heard the teacher Daniel Hernandez. Would you like to read the second one and tell me, how do you use this in your classes?
Sure. Show enthusiasm and engagement. Well, this is very important because at the end of the day, even though we are in this online format, students, no matter, regardless of their age, they need to feel the contact with their peers and especially with the teacher. They need to feel that the teacher listens to them, that understands them, that they are important in some degree. So you should never underestimate the power of a cheerful beginning of and smile. And I understand sometimes we are tired. Maybe you have 5 hours in a row, but give yourself a second to breathe deeply and start with a smile. Hey, hello guys, how are you today? It's so good to see you. Today maybe it's not a great day, but let's do our best. So it's not fake it. It's not a matter of fake your emotion. It's a matter of push yourself to give the best emotions you can, so you can transmit this optimistic point of view to your students, so they will be more interested in the class. If they see a teacher who is, okay, welcome, nice to see you, let's begin. So I am bothering you, teacher, so am I a problem for you? This may affect the
Yes.
way students receive their input.
Thank you, teacher Daniel. That is something so important. And please, teacher Patricia Henkel, please read the last one and tell us, how do you use this in your classes?
It says create meaningful connections with the topic. And I think people should feel related to the topic. Like they should know when to apply these things that you are. Was I supposed to read that one? The students have short attention span.
No, that's the next one. You are on the right.
Okay. Yes. So I think they should know when to use the structure that you are using or when to apply the topic.
Okay.
I believe that would be it.
Thank you, teacher Patricia. That's something important when you make these connections to the real world with the topic, that really creates something that they will learn that they will help them on a regular basis. A ver, teacher Juanita, I would like to listen to you. The last one, please, and tell us how do you use it in your classes.
Okay, it says students have a short attention span. Plan short attention activities. Well, in my case, I do exactly that, no? A short plan for activities that are not too long. If, especially with kids, I would say you have to be changing activities every 10 minutes. Maybe adults can go on for 15 or 20, but with kids, and you have to be changing activities. So what I do is make sure that I have plenty of short, different activities to engage their students so that they don't get bored, that they continue paying attention to what I'm saying. And I think I mentioned this before, just the fact that you have a PowerPoint presentation, for example, with different slides and you're changing them regularly, and it has some motion, some sounds, some different pictures or different letters, colors, that is going to help also to keep the attention of the students.
Thank you, teacher Juanita. Well, just as to conclude, I would like to say that when we think of the student engagement in learning activities, it is often convenient to understand engagement with an activity that is being represented by good behavior, the positive feelings, and as well, above all, I would say that is the student thinking, which is the cognitive engagement in this case. Okay, well, that was it for us. Thanks.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. It took a lot of time, so I think that this time we are going to go directly to the other team, okay? And then we'll see how we manage feedback. But please write a comment about the feedback you would have given this team, and we will see if we send it later. We'll get organized, okay? But for now, I want us to go to the next team. So maybe who's the host right now? Sean, can you make Alondra the host now, please?
Thank you.
Oh, I'm not the host anymore. You are.
Who's the host? I'm the host again? Okay. Perfect. Yes, I am. Thank you. Okay. So I'll make you the host, right, Alondra? Is that okay? Okay, perfect.
Okay, not yet. Well, yeah, now.
Yes, you are.
Now I'm the host.
Okay. So Alondra, just give me 1 minute.
Okay, hello everybody. How do you feel today? Woohoo! Oh my God. What happened?
I think
I
I need a minute.
I think the mics are off. Woo! Everybody's here.
Okay, now I'm okay. So I'm so sorry. Hello, everybody. How do you feel today?
Excellent.
Woo! With energy?
Yes.
Excellent.
Outside.
That's the attitude. Okay, my dears. So we are Adriel and Alondra, and today we will present promoting equal participation. But before that, let me start with short videos, okay? So let me share my screen with you. Okay, just give me a second.
All right, guys. So, well, in the meantime, I'll explain it to you. You will watch some videos. All right. I want you to pay close attention on them and on how participation is held on those videos. All right. And focus on that, and then we'll talk about that. Right. So.
Okay, go.
Can you tell me what you did wrong?
I fell down.
No, before that. Can anyone tell me Mr. Biles' big mistake? Anyone? Ugh. Let's take a look at the tape. Here we go. Right. There. See? The door. You left it wide open. And leaving the door open is the worst mistake any employee can make because...
It could let in a draft?
It could let in a child.
Oh, Mr. Water News.
There's nothing more toxic or deadly than a human child. A single touch could kill you. Leave a door open and a child could walk right into this factory, right into the monster world.
I won't go in a kid's room. You can't make me.
You're going in there because we need this.
Okay, the second video.
We're not. Are you sharing the screen, Alondra? We're not.
Not yet. Just give me a second because I have other video. So
Okay.
now I'm ready. I'm so sorry.
No,
Okay.
no.
Now the second video.
Morning class. I graded your essays. Josh, you wrote a wonderful story. Thank you, Miss Safe. Congratulations. Loved it. In fact, it was so good. You can skip today's pop quiz. Today's my lucky day. Yes, it is. Here's your essay, Drake.
A D minus. What's wrong with it?
I don't know. Just write another one.
She is so mean. Why does she have an influence? Mrs. Hafer? She's the nicest teacher in the whole school. It's all in your head.
All right, class, let's begin. The Iliad and the Odyssey were originally written in what language, Drake?
Greek.
Wrong. Todd.
Greek?
Correct. Down here.
Oh, hey, it's Kelly. Holy stuff.
Okay, now the last video. So just give me a second because, well. Okay, we are ready.
Farquaad guy is.
Oh, I do. I know where he is.
Does anyone else know where to find him? Anyone at all?
Me.
Anyone?
Oh, pick me. Oh, I know, me.
Okay, fine. Attention all fairy tale things. Do not get comfortable. Your welcome is officially worn out. In fact, I'm gonna see this guy Farquaad right now and get you all off my land and back where you came from. Oh, you You're coming with me.
All right, that's what I like to hear, man.
All right, guys. So perfect. Let's start listening to your ideas. Is that right? Who's in here? Let me check. I'd like to start with Brenda. Brenda, tell me, what did you see on the videos? How was participation held? What can you tell me?
As a student, I just watched. Or what do you mean participation?
Yeah, I mean, how was participation held on the videos? You know, there were people, or well, animals in some cases wanting to participate. How did you see that?
In the first video, they weren't really understanding. They were just like receptive. Like the lady had to explain what was wrong, and they were taking notes. And I think that's very nice because it's important to take notes. In the second video, participation was more variety. And in the last video, Shrek didn't want to pay attention to Donkey, even though he's like, hey, I know it. So I think ignoring is also kind of bad because maybe this person is over engaged. But I think that if no one else is participating, try to not make the other feel ignored.
All right. All right, perfect. What do you think, Kenya? Do you agree, or did you see something else?
Yes, well, in every video I saw a different way in which they addressed the ones that wanted to participate. Being in the second one, for example, being unfair, like he gave the correct answer, but then she was like, you're wrong, the teacher, right? So in the third video, I just saw that this Shrek only completely ignored him. That was what I saw. The
Okay.
teacher, yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Lady, what do you think? Is it familiar for you? I mean, have you had experiences similar to those?
Have I had experience similar? Yes, I had experience this morning an overengaged student, which I had to try to manage the situation in a very, I would say, wise way, because I was trying to analyze what to do. Their microphones were all active. So what I did was I told them that they needed to mute their microphones a little bit. And that way that I would call out who would participate. That I knew that everybody was practicing while we were, going through the topic, and that was great because participation was great or practicing was great, but that I would like to hear each individual by itself. And so that I would like for everybody to mute their microphones so we can go ahead and with the activity, and I will call that person out. And that's what I did. Because every time that I would try to ask somebody to participate, he was repeating the answer himself, but everybody could hear him. Everybody could hear him. And it became kind of a conflict to everybody else. And one of my students said that the topic was very difficult. It's a new group, but you find the difference, which it's basic one, but there's a big difference. You have students there that already have a knowledge of these topics, and you have students that don't have they have nothing, no knowledge whatsoever. So it becomes difficult for them, and so I had to manage that situation. But I always try to have everybody participate in a different way, I always try to be focused on everybody. But yes, I had these situations where I had students that want to participate all the time.
All right, excellent. That's exactly what we wanted to hear. We all have some different type of students. The kind of student who wants to always be participating, and the other side of the coin, the one who does not want to participate. All right, so that's where we're heading. All right, Alondra, could you help me sharing the screen with the questions, please?
Yes, but before that, Juanita wants participate.
Sorry, yes, go ahead.
Thank you for making me feel included. Yes, definitely. I like the video about Drake and Josh. I mean, it was the same correct answer, and the teacher didn't acknowledge the student, and that is bad. Or having a favorite student, you know, sometimes we do not realize it, but we have favorite students that we tend to call on most of the times, you know, and we have to be careful to make sure that we don't make people feel like, oh, my answer was incorrect or why he never picked me, right? So I think that's the point of you guys trying to show us that video.
Exactly. Well said. Stunning. Very well. So, perfect. Let's check out. Here we have just 3 more questions. Patricia Henkel, tell me, does participation enable students to take risks and make errors as part of their learning? What do you think?
Yes, always as students, we need to participate, to speak, to know what we are doing wrong and what we are doing right.
Right. Of course, very well. Patricia, could you help me asking question number 2 to Spencer, please?
Okay, Spencer, does it increase their exposure to other ways of thinking?
Participation, yes, it does.
Right, exactly. How?
When you make someone participate, they have to start thinking on like they have to focus their attention on what you're saying, as you were saying, and they have to think, right? Especially with open questions, they have to come up with something.
All right, excellent. Thank you. Now, Hugo, help me asking question number 3 to Sean, please.
Mr. Sean, does it enable them to demonstrate and develop their communication skills?
Yes, I think it does in a way where, I mean, if you're meaning us demonstrating first, I think it does. You know, I think it is important trying to show them how to do it before they do it. So I think that even it encourage them, that is from, I mean, I'm sorry, for encourage them, yes, to do so. Okay, so encourage them, yes. I'm looking for the word, but yes, I think it's very important for us to, you know, to show them how to do it before they do it. Yes, so we can even motivate them to do so, and you know, to give them a little bit of security in themselves, maybe. So yes, I think it's very important to do it.
Excellent. Very well. Thanks, guys. Thank you for all your ideas, lads. And well, that's what we're talking today about, how to focus on those students who don't want to participate and how to control those others who want to participate much more than the others. All right. And so, Alondra, go ahead. We listen to you.
Yes, thank you. So, my dears, for you, what does it mean participation? Okay, I want maybe Daniel, could you help me with that question?
What does
Could you,
participation, Daniel or Daniela?
Daniel, you,
Okay,
thank
good.
you.
What does participation mean? Well, for me, it means to share your ideas, your comments, or even your questions. You don't have to be afraid to share your thinking because you're supposed to be in a safe space, and your teacher and classmates will respect your point of view.
Okay, good. So now for lady. Oh, thank you, lady. For
For
you,
me, participation means to be the part of something, to be the part of that nucleus, be part of it. So when we have a student participate, we're making them part of the topic of what we are teaching them. And this also comes to be what Kenya and Shion were saying about meaningful. It makes the lesson meaningful for them when they participate, because now they know how to use it. Now they know how to involve it in their everyday life. So that's what participation for me is. For me, it's very important. I cannot go a class without having any one of my students participate.
Okay, thank you, teacher lady. Now, finally, teacher Brenda, what does participation mean for you?
I agree with Lady. I think it's part in the word when you are part of something, but not only, for example, when you are answering a question, but also when you are asking questions, like not being afraid to voice something that you don't understand, and also lending a helping hand to your classmates. Like, for example, in my class, when a student has a question, I usually wait a little and I let the other students help each other out. Ah, this means this. And they're like, oh, thank you, Papita. No? And it's just like, I didn't have to interfere. And slowly they stop becoming dependent on the teacher for things that other students already know. And I think both students participate in this occasion. And I think it also motivates them because it's just like, ah, I understand. Here, I can help you, you know?
Okay, thank you, thank you. So we have this definition about participation. So, teacher Juanita, could you help me read that short text, please?
Yes. Participation is an important piece in a student's education and the achievement of positive learning outcomes. The benefits include developing their communication skills, becoming critical thinkers, demonstrating that they understand the curriculum, and can develop valid arguments and in dialogue with their peers.
Okay, thank you so much. So as you say, it's very important, okay, in our classes or in our class, and obviously they include the skills, all right? But obviously we have a bad part of that. Why is a student not participating? What do you think about that? The reasons, ideas of that question?
Well, I have been one of the most shy, well, the shyest students in classes, as always. And well, that might be a reason because some of us are too shy to express ourselves because we are too afraid of making mistakes. And well, there might be many reasons. Either say that's one of them, being shy.
Okay, thank you. Now, yes, teacher Juanita.
Another reason could be that the student does not understand the topic and doesn't feel confident enough to share anything because it's hard for him or her and doesn't know what to say.
Exactly. Someone else? Maybe teacher Stephanie?
Yes, well, in my case, it's like the same case as teacher Kenya, because I think that it's sometimes we are so shy to participate. But well, also I think that the main idea it is because they just don't want to make like the mistakes to look so obvious. So most of the students don't participate because of that.
Okay, excellent. Yes, so we have ideas. They think they're not smart enough, fear of making mistakes, absence in previous lessons, and classroom size. So what do you think about classroom size? It's an important factor of that our students not participate.
Most definitely.
Yes, teacher Juanita, and then teacher Lady.
Yes, definitely. For example, when I was giving the demo class, sometimes I will have 50 students. That means that I will have two different slides to look at people, you know, and sometimes, I mean, you're busy trying to think what you're teaching to roll down and see who hasn't participated, right? Or who's raising the hand. It's hard to find out if you have given everybody an opportunity to speak. So the larger the group is, the less opportunities they're gonna have to participate.
Okay, thank you. Now, teacher Lady, please.
Yes, I think if you have too many students, the students that are more shy tend to hide behind the other ones, and I've noticed that. And I tell my students, I literally, just tell them in a very a nice way. Are you hiding from me? Because I can see you there behind that camera and things like that, you know? Because they say, oh my God, well, there's so many other of my classmates that can participate. So I don't need to do that, you know? But what has become very helpful is the breakout rooms. This is when you have breakout rooms and then when you can divide that group, it's great because they go ahead and they participate, you know? And that's what I do. I try to have pairs or groups of 3 at the most to have them participate because now they're noticed. So their classmates would, hey, so what do you think? So what is your opinion? And would get them to participate. So yes, classroom size, it could be an issue, but in some ways you have to learn how to manage just in case. But fortunately here we don't have larger than 13 students. So that's great.
Okay, thank you so much. So now let's move for solutions, all right? How do we encourage participation? Okay, so we have 5 ideas for you. Number 1, foster an ethos of participation. So, teacher Brenda, could you help me to read that part, please?
Yes, of course. Hollander, 2002, discusses the need to present participation as a collective responsibility of the class rather than just an individual responsibility. In order to facilitate a conversation where connections are made, students need to view their participation as a contribution to share an experience. Asking students to respond to a peer's response helps to facilitate the conversation as well. Positively reinforcing such contributions builds this sense of collectivism.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, the most important part of that text is that students need to view their participation as a contribution. Okay, so and also share the experience. Thank you so much. Number 2, teach students skills needed to participate and ensure that everyone's contributions are audible. Okay, so teacher Hugo, could you help me read that part, please?
Sure, it says students may not yet have the skills required to participate effectively. Students will become frustrated or cease to pay attention if they can't hear what is being shared. Frequently, students will need to be encouraged to speak loudly and clearly. Try reminding them that they should be addressing their comments not to you.
Okay, thank you so much. So, Kenya, what do you think about that part?
About the part of frequently students.
About the students' skills, well, are important for participation.
Well, I dare say that skills not to participate, I dare say that we have to foster them in a way that they feel, when you foster these skills, they feel better when participating.
Okay, thank you. And number 3, devise activities that elicit participation. So, teacher Fanny, could you help me read that part, please?
Yes, discussion-based activities such as case study, analysis, role-playing, etc. encourage students to talk with one another and with the instructor. To be effective, however, they typically require clear instructions, including timelines.
Great, perfect. So, device activities obviously help us to improve the students' participation a lot. Okay, we have many ideas as role play, maybe analyze a picture. Okay, thank you. Teacher Adriel, please.
All right, guys. Yes. So let's continue here. And let's talk about grading, all right? What does it mean? Well, Alondra, could you help me to click on there, please? Very well. Who hasn't? Daniela, please, could you help me reading that part?
Sure.
Grading is an effective method that can be used to increase levels of participation. If participation has a positive impact on a student's grade, they are more likely to participate in classroom discussion.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Thank you, Daniela. Yes, remember that we're here focusing that everyone participates the same, you know. And so if you a way to encourage some students that they may not like participating too much is giving them something, you know. We need to think about it, right? Could you help me moving on, Alondra, please? Excellent. So rapport, here we have very interesting word, right? Rapport. And who hasn't participated too much? Let's go to Patricia Henkel, please.
Yes, given that professors are seen as the leaders of authority within the classroom, the way they build their relationships with students is critical in getting them to participate.
Yeah, what do you think about it? Do you think relationships with your students really help participating?
Yes, I think you could find something you have in common, and that way you can relate and make create confidence in them.
All right.
Like
Excellent.
have
Create
a very
confidence.
nice environment.
Very well. Excellent. Thank you very much. Teacher Isaac, I want to hear something from you. How would you build a relationship with the shyest student in your classroom? That one student who really doesn't like to turn on their microphone. How would you build a relationship with him, Teacher Isaac?
You know, as a coach, we take on different papers, on different roles, the role of a teacher, the role of a mentor, the role of a guide. So with those shy students, we have to be even friendlier, even nicer. Not because we have to, but because we have to help them. When you're honest and sincere, people can feel that honesty and sincerity, and you can reach out. So the word would be reach out to those shy students who usually in class, in a presential class, sit all the way in the back, all the way to the left or the right. I mean, if there was a seat further, they would do it. And you can actually identify them because they don't talk much. So we have to welcome them and kind of control the atmosphere in the class. So if we ask them something, we have to be also patient to get an answer from them.
Right, excellent. And I got one more question for one more of you. I don't know, I would like Juanita, please. And tell me, how would you, I mean, this is one side of the coin of those students who don't like to participate, right?
Mhm.
But what about the ones who love participating and are always, you know, maybe even interrupting others students by our participation? So how would you deal with them? What do you normally do?
I do something that I think a lady already mentioned. That's something that I also try to do. I tell them to turn off the mics when they're not participating, basically, and that I'm gonna call on them, and say, I would like to hear what so and so has to say. Okay, let's listen to him. Okay, I know all of you want to participate. You can participate with your mics off. You can repeat it if you want to. That's fine. I tell them. But I would like to hear just to check pronunciation. I would like to be able to hear this person. And sometimes that's what I do. I mean, I don't discourage them from participating, because that's what they are there for. So you say, oh, that's good. You're participating. Great. Okay. And then I sometimes I don't tell them to turn off. I just do it myself. And then I say, oh, and then they don't realize it. It's that sometimes they are so active in the class. It's not their intention. It's not intentional. Like they want to interrupt other people, but that's their way of learning. So that's what I do. I just try to keep track of who hasn't participated, and that person that is overly engaged, as we mentioned before, I try to keep an eye on him or her.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much for your words. Now, we're going to move on because we have very little time left. So let's do it very quick. Remember that we as teachers are we need to solve problems, all right? So here we got, okay, we have some common problems that maybe we can face in our real classes. So we're going to separate you in 4 teams, all right? We're going to work on breakout rooms. Very quick, maybe just 3 to 4 minutes among you to discuss what the possible solution might be. And then we go back, and if we have time, we can listen just to one person of each team to describe very quickly, very briefly, what the solution was, all right? So very first team, Daniel, Patricia, Henkel, and Juanita is the first team, which is going to be describing, or well, solving problem number 1. Teacher Alondra, could you help me one more time sharing the screen so they take note of their problem? Okay, so you guys, you're going to solve, or you're going to provide a solution for the very first problem. They think they're not smart enough. And second team is going to be Patty, Erika, Daniela, Kenya, and teacher Isaac. All right, you are going to give a solution for problem number 2, fear of making mistakes. Then the third one is the teacher Jose Manuel is not participating, right? Okay, so it's going to be Lady, Hugo, and Sean. You're going to be number 3. And number 4 is Stephanie, Brenda, and we're going to have to make a small modification here. Isaac, teacher Isaac, sorry, I'll have to move you to the last team, all right, with Stephanie and Brenda. Is that right? Right. So very quick, guys, 4 minutes, no, not more, on your breakout rooms, okay? Help me with that, teacher Alondra.
Yeah, could you please repeat the members of team number 1, team number 2, and team number 3, because
Oh,
I'm
of
lost.
course.
Thank you.
Of
Oh,
course. Team
thank you.
number 1 is Daniel, Patricia, and Juanita. All right. Number 2, Patty, Erika, and Kenya.
And Isaac.
No. The next team is Lady, Spencer, and Sean. And, well, the last team, Isaac, Stephanie, and Brenda. All right. There we go, guys. So go ahead, very quick, guys, please.
Uh,
I think you said 4 minutes and you gave us like 2.
Hi, everyone.
Time flies.
Yes,
Huh.
you have fun.
Yeah. Hey guys. Sorry to interrupt like that. But well, time's running out, right? I really hope you have some good ideas to share. Very quick, the same way. So only one person per team. All right. Who wants to start?
I would like to start. We discussed
Okay.
that maybe a warm up of using the previous topic for so this student can have an idea. Would be great. Also, we discussed that probably a quick review, asking the students questions of the topic that was previously seen to help the student that was absent. And another tactic that I kind of use when it's time for them to work together, if it's a continuity of, if we're continuing with a topic previously seen, is that I pair the student with someone that has the main of the topic that can it's kind of like pair up them together. So this student that has the main of the topic can help this student that was absent. And that's what I do.
Yeah, totally agree. Very well, lady. So your problem was absence in previous lessons, right?
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. And so what about someone from the team number 1? They think they're not smart enough. Who wants to speak? Juanita, okay.
Okay. Well, we mentioned that something we can do to help them is to, first of all, commend them, give them a commendation for whenever they participate and acknowledge their participation to make them feel comfortable. Also, it was mentioned that we ourselves as teachers have to be able to recognize our own mistakes and say, all of us make mistakes. So, when we perhaps give them wrong instructions or something we didn't say right, to admit that we make mistakes. So that would be also something to make them feel that it's okay not to know everything and that's why they are here for, to learn.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Now I'd like to hear one person from the team fear of making mistakes.
Well, we discussed that maybe the solution for that problem is that you should give clear instructions and set up the time for those activities in order for them to know exactly what to do. And as well as building up their self-confidence. They all are learning a new language and they are all learning something new, so they shouldn't be afraid of making mistakes because they will enrich their practice.
All right. Yes, this one is quite connected to the previous one, right? So very well. Thank you, Kenya. Very well. And one more from the last team, classroom size. Who has that? No one? Classroom size? Who had classroom size? I know.
One is shy. They have a shy student.
Yeah, I think that some of you were confused, right, on your topic. And I think that was Kini and Patty. Kini and Patty had to discuss about classroom size. And no?
No.
You were asking to do lessons?
No,
So
I think
who
your
had
instructions were not clear.
Okay, I
think
will
so?
answer. I think that the
I
breakup.
said,
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, go
I
ahead.
wasn't in that group, but I'll give a solution. I think knowing how to use breakout rooms and ensuring that students know what to do when they are in breakout rooms can help participation when it comes to classroom size because they are working with their classmates. It builds trust and they become more familiar with who they are learning with.
All right. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mrs. Brenda. So, very well, guys. There you are. Thank you very much for paying attention. And, well, thank you. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
okay, thank you very much, both teams. Thank you very much. We learned a lot of things and we discussed many things. We did run out of time, so time management has to be worked on a little bit, maybe giving clear instructions too. But I would like everyone to write a very small note
you know, about what you would have given them as feedback, both teams, and tomorrow we'll start with that, okay? But we'll try to start on time, so we have enough time to do that at the beginning of the class, because I do believe that receiving feedback is what enriches our teaching, right? So I wouldn't want you to miss that part, receiving feedback. So we'll do that tomorrow really quickly, really briefly, you know, but please don't forget to write something down today, because tomorrow we might have forgotten something, you know, that we would have liked them to know as feedback, okay? But thank you very much, everyone, for your participation. Thank you for your presentations, and we will see you tomorrow, okay?
Okay, thanks. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
You too.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Pati, ¿me puedes, no, finalizo así la sesión, ¿verdad, teacher Pati?
Sí, sin,
Ah,
yes, sin problema.
Thank
Gracias,
you.
Alo.
Bye, bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.